Hello! My name is Allie, and welcome to Funny Fat Friend, a podcast about this bodacious biracial babe trying to find herself in film. Here's an update. We have been protesting here in Louisville for 272 days for justice. You can find the link to the wish list of supplies we are in need of here for protesters, as well as our houseless protesters who were recently evacuated from Injustice Square. If you can give to the Louisville Bail Fund, please do. Charges are being pursued, and we need every piece of support we can get. Okay. I have a very special guest with me today to keep this spider train on the move. It is my good pal, Mack.
Hello, I'm Mack.
Mack is
Glad
back.
to be here. Second time on the podcast. It's been a while.
Yeah, from Fried Green Tomatoes,
Yeah.
which was the second episode?
Yeah,
maybe?
it was right at the beginning.
It's been a year. This is
Yeah,
my anniversary episode, I think, technically,
Yeah.
because I didn't put anything out last week. So, or at this point, it'll be a week before last, because this is coming out in a couple weeks. But, yeah. I think
Spider-Man and Fried Green Tomatoes. Very different in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So similar in almost none. There's
Yeah.
two old people.
Yeah, there are some old people.
Yeah, one of them.
There's some hidden identities.
Ooh. Wow, that analysis. Nobody knew they were going to get, but, this is where you come. All my fans, that's what you're looking for, these hot takes. But also, Mack, you started a literary magazine.
I did. I didn't tell anyone about it until it happened, because I'm terrified of telling people about things and then not doing them.
No, that's very real.
Yeah.
That is very real.
But
It's
it is. There's a literary magazine that I run now. It's called Welkin Magazine. You can Google it.
amazing.
It'll
I'll also
come up.
link it in
It'll
the
come up if you
description.
Google it. That's how you know it's real.
You can Google it, and you can click on the description, and then you can Google it to make sure. Sick. I bought it. Look at that. It's very affordable at $1.
$1.
So
I'm here for the people.
there you go. It's very exciting. Sick. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm so very glad I got to plug your stuff. Yay, friend. All right. What is, if any, you have connection to Spider-Man? Do you have any connection to Spider-Man, the series, or the character, the comics?
I think I watched a Spider-Man cartoon a couple of times when I was a kid.
Wow. I don't remember there being a Spider-Man.
I remember there being one. I don't remember any episodes. I feel like I watched an episode or two. I never read the comics. Spider-Man 1, like the one that we are watching the sequel to now.
Yes.
Was one of the first movies that I remember going and seeing.
Like in the theater?
In the theater.
Whoa.
Yeah, my grandma took me to see it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Come through, Grandma.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that was really cool.
Wow.
But yeah, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies are pretty much my only connection to Spider-Man.
Nice.
And I watched them a bunch as a kid.
Bunch.
And I had the Spider-Man 2 PlayStation 2 game.
Oh.
Which is one of the best video games that's ever been made. It's crazy.
Wow. Spider-Man apparently does have good video games.
It does.
The new one people really like.
Yeah, it's the swinging.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought it for my dad.
Everybody wants to
swing around. We're all just out here trying to swing.
Yeah.
Why didn't the Tarzan movie do better then? Was there? No, the George of the Jungle movie with Brendan Fraser.
I also watched that a whole bunch as a child. I had that as a pirated VHS that I just recorded off of TV.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I was all about that movie too. So
nice. All right.
Anything that involves people swinging.
All right.
From vines or ropes.
Cool.
That was my childhood.
Phenomenal. Wow.
Spider-Man, George of the Jungle, Bridge to Terabithia.
I can only remember when the swing thing broke.
Yeah, that's the most
part
important plot point of that movie.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Spoiler if you didn't have to read that in 4th grade.
Yeah. Also similar to Spider-Man, where he goes to shoot his web and then he can't.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't die. It's less sad. It's played for a laugh.
Yeah. It is. The stakes are a lot lower somehow. Well, amazing. What a connection to the Spider-Man franchise. We saw Spider-Verse together.
Yeah, we did see Spider-Verse together.
We saw it. And eventually that will be coming. Dear listeners, Spider-Verse is going to happen. I know I said previously that I wouldn't do anything but the Tobey Maguires, but I lied.
Okay, you're going to do Spider-Verse?
Yeah,
you're not doing, Andrew
Garfield?
No. You're not doing those?
No.
That's good.
Yeah, no. Maybe I'll do Social Network, and I'll only talk about Andrew Garfield's performance in Spider-Man every time he is in the movie.
Is
Social
he
Network. He's
Mark
like
Zuckerberg?
No, he's the other person that made Facebook
okay.
with Mark Zuckerberg. They got fucked over. That nobody knows who is.
Oh, okay. I don't remember him being.
I remember him like going to punch.
Oh, I remember that.
Like at the end of the movie or whatever, he
Yeah.
like fakes him out. It's very funny.
Yeah.
That's iconic. Well, no, I'm not going to do the Social Network. That's the only part I wanted to talk about from that movie. It's very faked out.
You get it in this Spider-Man.
There you go. Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man in the Social Network. Still not worthwhile until he fakes a punch, which Spider-Man would never do. All right, great, amazing. That's the connection. Cool, Spider-Man 2. It is from 2004. It had a $200 million budget. It made $789 million, which is just a little less than the original, which is so wild for a sequel to still make that much money.
It's insane.
Yeah, for like a first sequel, usually they don't make that much. It's usually like the third one for some reason. I guess usually those are the end.
Yeah.
And so people are like,
Finish
okay,
it up.
I gotta see it.
Is Spider-Man 3 going to be on this podcast?
Yeah, Spider-Man 3.
Good.
Spider-Man 3 is going to be on this podcast. And that is the one I'm looking forward to a lot. I talked about this in the last one. But yeah, the person that I am reviewing Spider-Man 3 with is a massive fan of Spider-Man 3.
That's going to be an interesting take.
Has like apparently some very intense argument for why it is good.
I want this thesis.
I also, that's why I was like, this will be interesting. Because I could have easily just had anyone in the world. I could have gone out on the street and been like, come be on my podcast and talk about Spider-Man 3 with me. And they'd be like, fuck that movie. Oh my God, it was so bad. But yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is an easy one to defend.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees.
Yeah, this one, This one I have maybe the longest notes out of a movie I've done in a long time. Just because it is good and I want to talk about it so much. There's so much that
happens in it. I forgot.
Yes.
It's so very different than most superhero movies you watch today. Like,
yes, agreed.
After the glut of Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah, right?
There's been like 2 good movies.
Yeah, that diluted pool of just money.
Yeah.
That you just throw a celebrity inside of, and then you pull out a movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marvel fans. I have some very intense Marvel fan friends. And I'm sorry. I'm not trying to yuck your yum. But
do you want me to talk trash about the Marvel movies so you don't have to?
This is just McKenzie's opinion. But yeah, that's also a thing with like Spider-Man is owned by Sony. And that was all the drama with Marvel because they wouldn't let Spider-Man be a part of the Marvel movie because Sony was like, give us money for this character that we own. And Disney was like, no.
That sounds like Disney.
So awful. That's really bad. But whatever. Great. Spider-Man 2. All right, it begins with... it also doesn't have like a dumb punny title like a lot of sequels
just
do.
Spider-Man
it's
2.
Just literally Spider-Man
Tell
and
us
then
what we're gonna
number 2. Not spelled out even. It's just the number 2. It's Spider-Man 2, not more Spidier.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Even though I do enjoy the whole Too Fast, Too Furious, like Too Faster, Too
Furious.
Yeah.
4 Fast, 4 Furious.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I enjoy those. But yeah, I appreciate that. This one also has 3 minutes of opening credits. And the last one did as well. And I talked about this in the last one. I do not miss long-ass opening credit sequences. What was I doing when I was a kid watching this? Maybe I was still coming... We were usually late. So I guess I appreciate them for, as a child, with perpetually late grandparents. I appreciate the long
Yeah.
title sequence because we still got in.
I liked the credits on this one because it got me hyped up, you know?
Ooh.
Like, it was like, they're kind of like comic book-esque, and like the music is coming in, and I'm like, oh boy, Spider-Man.
Riled. This one was better artistically than the last one. The last one was just like bad 3D art webs and like Lego models looking things. Or knockoff Lego looking New York City skyscrapers and stuff.
Yeah, this one had like the portraits from the first movie.
It had like watercolor.
Yeah.
For some reason, these watercolor.
Well, there's a lot of rain in the first movie, so.
I guess so. That's, man, you're really getting a lot out of it that I did not, but I'm really happy for you. Sweet. It starts with voiceover, which happened in the first one, and it was a through line they didn't need to keep, the voiceover. But I guess it's also like the whole comic book panels usually have like a little intro thing, so I guess that's kind of what they're trying to mimic. But I don't know if the Spider-Man comics are told from Spider-Man's perspective. I don't think they are. But also, I don't know at all. I've just decided that I don't think they are. I have no facts to back that up. I've never read a Spider-Man comic. So come for me. I apologize. But yeah, they start with voiceover about Mary Jane, which is what happened in the first one as well. And poor little Spider-Man is just like, if only she knew how I felt about her. But she could never know because I chose a life of responsibility. But she looks over me every day. And we see her on like, she looks over me every day. And then we see him walking and there's a big ass billboard of Kirsten Dunst. Advertising a perfume, I think, but also, I don't know. I don't know what it was.
I don't understand her career trajectory in this movie, but it's fine.
No, she was like, I thought she was a model, and then all of a sudden, in like 1 minute, we find out she's in a play. She's in like The Importance of Being Earnest.
Yeah.
On Broadway.
Another play about hidden identity.
Man, they felt good. You can tell the writers felt good about themselves, and they didn't feel good about themselves in the last one. Now somebody like gave them a Beyonce album or something, and were like, "You can do stuff. You are self-assured. You can write." But that's good for them. We see that Peter is working as a delivery person for a pizza place, but he's been taking too long, and he's not dependable. And as he comes in, we see him like quickly shoving his little Spider-Man mask back into his pocket.
Oh, yeah. So that we know what he's doing.
Yeah,
we
know.
Secret, a little wink for the viewer.
Yeah, because crime doesn't stop, just for a 9 to 5.
This is like one of like the first moments that continued to come back to me in the movie where I was like, nothing about Peter Parker makes sense as a human unless you know he's Spider-Man.
Right, yeah. You would think he's on drugs.
Insane, bumbling person.
Yeah. He's like a genius who's addicted to meth.
He doesn't say anything that makes sense to anyone.
Yeah. He's always just smirking by himself.
Yeah. Like when I was a child and I watched this movie, I felt like really, really, really bad for him because I was like, and I feel bad for him still. Like he's doing a lot and it's hard for him to be Spider-Man. But as an adult, I feel really, really bad for everybody else around him who has to like try and interact with him as a person.
Deal with this guy. Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but when he spends like 15 minutes, he just walks out of a closet.
Yeah.
That woman just accepted that.
Yeah. That is, and it doesn't make sense how he even got it. I don't.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. So yeah, Peter Parker is a bad delivery person, which also doesn't make much sense because he is a superhero. So you'd think he'd easily be able to just take the pizzas wherever they need to go. And then fight crime if he needs to fight a crime. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of crimes, surprisingly, don't happen in the middle of the day, usually.
Yeah. Well, he's also not just fighting crime. Like, he had to save those children from being run over
there were just
by a truck.
2 children in the middle of the day again. I guess school is not a thing.
Yeah, no school.
No parents or things.
Yeah.
In busy Manhattan,
It's
little
Spider-Man's
children.
job to also be a babysitter for every child in New York.
New York City. Oh, jeez. Yeah, why doesn't he just become a nanny or something then? That would have been a better job, honestly. But great. So, yeah, his job is on the line. He comes into the pizza place, and he has 8 minutes to deliver a bunch of pizzas, or he'll lose the sale and his job. And he has to go 42 blocks in 7.5 minutes. Why did he even send the pizzas with him at this point?
I don't know. Was that explained? Are there like no other delivery drivers?
Yeah, I was like, there's nobody else that works here. Nobody was in the shop at a time that would have worked to get it where it needed to go, that you had to wait for Peter on his little bike. And why is your delivery range that big if you have a 30-minute, like, it's there in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed?
I have no idea.
It's a bad business model.
Yeah.
Why would you let someone buy 10 pizzas? But, you know, we needed it for the plot. And this is probably real. This is probably a real store that existed that didn't understand why they went under. like, everybody's getting these pizzas off me for free. But yeah, so, of course, he goes. And he's weaving through traffic on his little moped. And he suddenly runs into an alley and gets on his costume so that he can use his magic powers to help him.
Should have been step one.
Yeah, but why did you even bother trying to weave through traffic on your little moped?
It's okay. He's still figuring it out.
Yeah, something is so wrong. I guess I need to remember that he is 19 years old.
Yeah.
Feasibly. Like 18 or 19 years old.
He's a child. He just graduated high school.
Yeah, and he just started college. So, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was very stupid.
He can't make good decisions.
No, you almost physically can't. Your brain isn't there. So, okay. All right. That makes a little more sense. But it's hard when you're looking at a 30-year-old man. You're supposed to remember that. So, yeah, he runs into an alley, and then all of a sudden, comes out as Spider-Man, and a man on the street, played by Donnell Rawlings, who is famously in Chappelle's Show. I don't know, I meant to look up when Chappelle's Show was popular to know if this was
before or after. Is he in this as a cameo because of Chappelle's Show, or did Chappelle's Show see this?
Yeah, and Dave Chappelle
watched Spider-Man 2
I need
and was
him. I gotta get him in here. But I love that. And he sees him, and he literally just goes, damn. Spider-Man just stole a bunch of pizzas!
This movie has so many great one-liners. That just don't even need to be there.
Yeah, genuinely. He just stole that man's pizzas. It's like, yeah, word.
I'd also forgotten how funny this movie was. In such a weird way.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, he gets sidetracked by those children that are all alone that run into the street. And it makes him late, and he gets fired. Yeah. And this is, the big memed moment. One of the big meme moments.
Oh, can I say it?
Please do.
It's pizza time. Oh!
They had to push in the camera onto his face. They had to reset just for this shot of that line. It's pizza time. And then the woman doesn't pay for the pizzas because he's late.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also comes out of a closet.
Yeah.
But we don't know how he got in the closet in his Spider-Man outfit. We don't see him come into the hotel.
An air vent?
Yeah.
Is there an air vent in the broom closet?
And honestly, if you're Spider-Man, just drop him. Just drop him there. Be Spider-Man. Yeah. Just be like, I have a job because this doesn't pay me any money. We expect.
Spider-Man is a pizza delivery. Yeah. Let it happen.
Yeah, I would be like, okay, yeah, because how is he making money otherwise?
Yeah.
Spider-Man has to have a job.
Yeah. I'm sure the pizza shop guy would gladly hire Spider-Man over Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun, you know? So, yeah, he gets fired. Then J. Jonah Jameson, our lovely newspaper editor, much like I assume you're going to be with your literary magazine, you're going to turn into this man.
All I want is pictures of Spider-Man.
The next volume is just going to be pictures of Spider-Man. That would be very good. I would pay more than $1 for that. So J. Jonah Jameson is also on Peter Parker's ass because that's his other job, is working for him. And he's trying to fire him because he didn't bring him any pictures of Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. The only reason he hired him. He gives him like some black and white photography.
Like a child on a swing set in a park or something.
Yeah. And nobody cares. And so he, and Peter's like, well, you turned the city against Spider-Man. I won't give you any picture anymore. And, but he needs the money, so he gives him a picture anyway. And it's sad. But we find out he also had just gotten an advance for the last time he worked, so he doesn't even get any money. It was all for nothing.
Oof.
It's really sad. So then we see Peter is running around campus because he's in college, and that never occurred to me as an option for this movie. I never imagined he went to college.
What is his why? Why is he going to college?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess, like, he needs a job because he doesn't get paid for being Spider-Man. But he's studying, like, something crazy, like astrophysics or something?
Yeah. We don't really know. It's just science.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's just studying science.
He's doing, like, a project on, like, nuclear fusion.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's writing his final paper for a class about a guy who does fusion.
But, like, what is Peter's career goal for that? And how does that mesh with Spider-Man?
I have no idea.
Is he going to be at, like, the research center and just, like, disappear to go pull a child out of the way of a bus?
While you're causing nuclear fusion. And you gotta be like, well, you guys got it. I gotta get into this broom closet real quick.
Which is what he did when the nuclear fusion happened eventually, exactly. So maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's his whole life. It's how he thought his whole life would play out. Yep. He runs, so Peter is decked, he trips and then gets decked by 4 backpacks. Because people are mean. I've never been, like, even like the busiest campus I've ever been on, like doing like a speech tournament as a kid or something, and you're on a college campus and it's like massive. Mm. If I fell down, I don't think that that somehow, people would just start hitting me in the face back to back with their backpacks. But, you know, it's his hard life that he's living.
Yeah.
Poor Spider-Man. Then he runs into his professor, finds out that he has missed class. So I guess he also doesn't have a watch. Can't tell what his school schedule even is. He doesn't know.
The watch doesn't show up well underneath the skin-tight Spider-Man costume.
Yeah, you can't be wearing that.
Yeah.
Also, still, I'm so confused by his costume.
Where did his clothes go when he becomes Spider-Man? Like, he's always running down an alleyway ripping his clothes off.
Yeah.
Does he have to go back and get them later?
And then find his clothes? Yeah. And hope that they're still there. One.
Because there's like a shot later in the movie where he like opens his closet and he's got like 1 pair of clothes.
Yeah, he has 1 pair of clothes and 1 Spider-Man suit.
Yeah.
And his Spider-Man suit is full body. So like fingers. Yeah. Where do is he wearing gloves in regular day so that he can just pull off the gloves?
Like stuffed into his pockets.
Yeah, does he have it half off? But he doesn't because we see him like open his shirt and the little Spider-Man.
Wearing some of it.
But it's like...
Does he get, like, really sweaty? Does that chafe? That he's wearing this skin-tight suit under his clothes 100% of the time? What's the suit made of?
Well, his body is made of little prickly needle things, so maybe that's part of why it's okay. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. And we'll never move on.
This is the most realistic superhero movie that's been made. And these are still the questions.
These are still the questions that are ridiculous and don't add up. So he has missed class, and he has his paper on fusion due. Which also, they just say that. They just say, your paper on fusion is due. Like, I know what that is. Like, anyone knows what that is.
Peter Parker knows.
I don't think he does. He hasn't written the paper yet.
I don't know. He goes to talk to Dr. Octopus. And
Dr. Ock.
What's his real name? Dr. Octavianus.
So close.
Okay.
Yanus. Dr. Octavianus. No, he's...
Well, he goes to talk to him later, and
Yes.
he's like, these are all the reasons your thing won't work. And
Uh-huh.
Dr. Octopus is like, but Peter Parker's right. Peter Parker already knows more about nuclear fusion than
the expert.
The
person
in
who's
the
doing
world.
it for the first time.
Peter Parker is writing a college essay.
Yeah.
He's 19.
And like his, ideally, I guess it's like Bio 101.
Yeah.
Something.
And is doing a better job than this man.
Yeah.
And his professor is failing him.
Uh-huh. Here we are, Overlooked genius is just classic.
Peter Parker deserves a Nobel Prize. And he's failing by a 101.
Jeez. So yes, Peter is planning on writing his paper that is overdue about Dr. Otto Octavius. And that's all we get. Then the professor's all like, yeah, he's my friend. Don't fuck this up. And then walks away. Back at home in Aunt May's, he's surprised by a little party for his birthday. And it's Aunt May, MJ, and Harry are there. So I guess MJ and Harry are okay. They're on like okay terms now.
What's their beef from the first movie?
They were dating.
Oh, okay.
And then broke up. Because his dad said mean things about her at Thanksgiving.
That seems like a reasonable
And he didn't stand up to him about it. And so she just heard him say horrible things about her. And then she was like, well, you should have stood up for me. And then he's like, why would I do that? He's my dad!
Yeah. James Franco is a bad actor.
He's a bad guy, too.
Yeah.
Which is... adds up.
I haven't, paid attention to his acting before, but he was
not good at it.
Atrocious.
Yeah, this is not like his first role either. He was doing shit in the 90s, like consistently working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was already famous, sort of.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you knew who he was. He was like a little bit of a pull for the movies.
And he was just like, I hate Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, yikes. So yeah. So Harry and MJ are like there being friendly. It's weird still though. And that's his only friends, and it's sad. And they're all there for his little birthday. And he has a sad birthday.
Yeah.
And Harry talks to him about how things at Oscorp are going because now he's just in charge of Oscorp.
Yeah! What? He's great. He just graduated high school. He is 18 years old. He is running a billion-dollar multinational company.
Yeah. And also, his dad was about to get fired from Oscorp in the last movie.
This?
But now he's in charge because his dad killed everyone on the board. Which I guess made it so he didn't get fired. Like, I guess they didn't file any paperwork.
Yeah. This is, like, one of the things that is, like, ridiculous about this movie. And I love the whiplash between, like, having superheroes who have, like, real-life problems, which you don't see in superhero movies that much anymore.
Yeah.
Like, like, the mortgage. We can't pay the mortgage and stuff like that. And the fact that nothing makes sense in this world.
No.
There are 18-year-olds running billion-dollar companies.
Right. And it's also like, okay, that's your best friend. And he is standing in this house while there are just mortgage bills laying around.
Yeah.
And he has said nothing about, like...
This 80-year-old woman is about to get kicked out of her home.
I live in a McMansion by myself in, like, Manhattan.
Yeah.
Nah.
But he's an asshole.
Yeah, he is an asshole.
He's awful.
Yeah, he's very bad.
And he's bad at acting.
He's horrendous. He plays Harry well, because he sucks. He just sucks. He's just a shitty dude.
That's why it seemed like he was good in Disaster Artist, is because he just had to be bad at acting.
Yeah, he just had to be himself. In a wig.
Just a crazy man who's bad at acting.
Oh, no. Well, we figured it out. Oh, man. But yeah, so things are going well at Oscorp, apparently, under the rule of an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
And he also mentions, very conveniently, that they are working with his hero, which we find out is Peter Parker's hero now. He's not just a man he's writing a paper about. It's his hero, Otto Octavius. And that he can set him up to meet him. So he's willing to set him up to meet this man. But he can't give Aunt May $15
No.
to help.
It didn't cost $15 to give Peter Parker an address.
You're right. It's not. Oh my god. So yeah. But then he's upset about Peter being friends with Spider-Man. Just immediately after that. After being like, you can meet this guy. Also, talking about friendship. You're friends with Peter. You're friends with fucking Spider-Man. I hate him. And it's awkward and weird. And it doesn't make sense also still to me, because at the end of the last movie, Peter Parker, like with the Green Goblin, dead, whatever, brings him back to the house, and Harry finds him, and Spider-Man is still there. But Spider-Man was like in a fire. His like whole face is like out of his mask.
Yeah, you could tell.
And Harry was just like, huh. And in the time that he reaches to get a gun or something, he's
what's the reason that Harry thinks Spider-Man killed the Green Goblin? Like, he had been in like a fire. Why couldn't Spider-Man have just been like, your dad died in a fire and I tried to save him, here he is?
Didn't have time to leave a note, didn't have time to speak to it. It's just yeah. Just assumed. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a lot of assumption.
Yeah.
That Spider-Man killed him, even though Spider-Man has literally killed nobody.
Yeah.
To this point. At all. And it was like puncture wounds from a device that he recognized.
Yeah.
Because
like stab wounds.
He's now in charge of the company that made that thing.
Yeah.
You think he would have figured out, oh, we got stabbed by that thing. But he was like, Spider-Man did it.
Yeah. He's not bright.
Yeah, he's not.
He's a teenager. He's in high school and running a company.
Yep. You know, how it be. It's stressful. You gotta have an outlet, which is hating Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. After the party, Aunt May is asleep, and we see a foreclosure notice for the house. He wakes her up, and she calls him Ben, which is absolutely heartbreaking. And she makes him take $20 from her because he needs it more than she does, and it is so sad. Then on his way out, we also see MJ, who is just still hanging out.
Oh my god, this scene gave me
so much.
anxiety.
Yeah, I know. It was like there's so much uncomfortable sexual tension here between these two people that, in my experience, have talked to each other 4 times.
Yeah.
Because they didn't talk to each other in high school. He took her picture one time.
Yeah.
But they're neighbors.
Mm-hmm. He just stares at her in silence a lot.
Yeah, it's awful. And she only loves him because he was there for her one time, kind of. And that's pretty much what she says in her big speech at the end of the last movie.
No.
It's so very sad. And she tells him that she's seeing someone now.
Oh, yeah. And then he's like, what is he? And she's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like a weird... And it's like, okay. I also don't understand any timeline of events. I don't know how long it's been since they weren't together, and now she's dating someone, and now she's a Broadway star. It has to have been at least like 7 months, because you can't just get in a Broadway play.
You don't just like graduate high school and become a model.
No, and you have to like rehearse a play and like get all like costumes. Like you have to like, the theater has probably had something in it before they're like, but it doesn't add up to. It's like the Green Goblin just died recently still and stuff. Yeah. It's, well, whatever. I don't know. Maybe also time works different in this world. I don't know. Okay, cool. Back in his apartment, because I guess him and Harry don't live together anymore, and instead of letting him move in to his place, Peter just lives in this brothel. I don't know what it is. This house, the bathroom is communal. There's like a communal bathroom, and he just has like a room. Yeah. With a angry Russian landlord. Yeah. And he hasn't paid rent in a long time. And his daughter is obviously into him. Yeah. We see that right away. And the landlord takes the $20 from him right away. And Peter goes and sits sad in his gross room alone. And it's all a bummer. Next day, Peter is with Harry to meet Otto, who says he knows of Peter from his professor. So Peter is so genius in class, even though he does not go to class. Yeah. that his professor told him about him. And he says he's brilliant, but lazy. And he says that being brilliant isn't enough. You have to work hard. Intelligence is not a privilege. It's a gift you need to use for the betterment of mankind.
Oh, man.
That's dope.
That is good.
That's good. That should have been our class motto at Center. That would have been lit. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. From the bad guy.
Yeah, the bad guy. Yeah, the bad guy has more sense than almost anything.
Does.
In the whole, yeah. Yeah, so then he shows him his machine to sustain fusion. Still don't know what that is or why it matters. He said energy. He's like, it gets as much energy from the sun.
It's going to solve climate change and dependence on fossil fuels.
And I'm like, how?
Just because you're going to plug...
Yeah, like he didn't put like a blender. He didn't like plug a blender.
Plug a blender into the sun.
Yeah, into the sun. I
don't know.
What do we do with it now?
One step at a time. First thing, you gotta make a sun.
You just have to make a sun, and then everything else will just come together.
You figure it out after that.
Yep. Otto and his partner Rosie give Peter some tea, and everybody's pals now. And they get on the subject of love, because I'm sure that's what they care about talking about right now.
They're so in love.
And it's like, he's doing his presentation tomorrow for like all these important people.
Yeah.
And
he's not like
I'm gonna take
double checking the machine.
Mm-mm. No,
like
not at all.
Making sure stuff's good.
He's just gonna
gotta give this 19-year-old
a chat about love
advice.
over some tea.
The secret is to stare at the woman for a long time and say nothing.
Yep. Peter says that he doesn't know if he has a girlfriend.
Oh, no. Yeah, he said that. What the fuck, Peter?
I was like, then you don't have a girlfriend. You don't.
That's the part where I do remember, like, these are children. Right? That's a very, like, teenage thing to say.
That's so crazy.
Like, I stared at this neighbor girl for a little while.
And she just told me literally 7 hours ago that she's seeing someone.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm that someone.
Am I that someone? Yeah. Yeah, he's like, was she talking about me? I think she was.
Oh my god. But Otto, I really like Otto's response. He's like, I don't know if I have a girlfriend. And Otto says, who would know if you... like, I don't understand. Who would know?
Yeah, I mean, am I married? Who are you sitting next to me?
What's going on? Oh, man. And he tells him that you can't keep love stored inside or it'll make you sick. And he and Rosie met in college and fell in love. It's very cute. He gives Peter the advice to read his love poetry.
Oh, that was bad advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Advice number 1 should have been have an honest conversation with him,
Yeah. Having been on the receiving end of weird poetry from someone you don't know if they are your boyfriend or not.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
I do love the scene where he tries that later, though. That's like a great example of how that really should play out, where she's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, go away. I don't want this. Yuck. Yeah, and then Peter's at the laundromat reading poetry while he's washing his Spider-Man suit. And it's like, at this point, is he famous enough that maybe there are people who have
Spider-Man suits?
I assume so, probably. I hope so. Yeah, probably there are. So it would be weird, but also it's New York City at a laundromat. There's probably a decapitated Elmo standing outside smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Like, there's it's not whatever.
Oh, man, it stains his little undies pink.
Yeah, because he doesn't understand how to see.
He's a child.
He made his own costume. We're supposed to think, based on the first movie, he made his own costume. And I think he talks about how he made it also in this. And he doesn't know how a washing machine works, though. You can work with fabric so well that you can make a full body, stretchy, like, lycra suit. Perfectly measured to you.
He just, like, colored it in with, like, magic marker or whatever.
I guess. I was like, why would that wouldn't happen? But, okay. It's great. So, yeah, his underwear turns pink and blue. And then he goes to get ready for Mary Jane's play because she's in this play because she's a famous Broadway performer now. And she's in The Importance of Being Earnest, which we mentioned. And of course, on the way there, there's a police chase. And he almost gets run over, but he does a cool backflip over a car in front of some kids. And the kids are like, how the fuck did you do that? And he says to them, you just gotta eat your vegetables, and then you can do it too.
Incredible.
And one of the kids is like, that's amazing. I can't believe my mama was right.
Amazing.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed that scene. Then there's a shootout with the bad guys. He stops them, but he's late for the play, and he can't get in. And there's an asshole usher that is like, you can't be seated once the play has started. Which is a thing, and makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The Importance of Being Earnest is long as fuck. I think there's probably one or at least two intermissions.
Like an intermission, probably.
So you could just go in at intermission. And also, they pipe the play through the lobby. So you'd still be able to know what's going on.
He's Spider-Man.
Just go in.
He's snuck into so many buildings so far. Why can't he just, like, do that here?
Yeah, he seems well-versed in
why couldn't he just, like, climb up into, like, the catwalk or something?
Yeah, just go to the top.
On top of the building?
Yeah, and then just rappel down like a spider. But no, he doesn't do that. Instead, he's a sad boy. And also the usher, the guy who plays the usher is Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. I enjoyed that.
That's amazing. Also, I forgot that he's in the original one too.
Does he have a cameo in the original?
Yes. He's in, so Bruce Campbell is famous for being in The Evil Dead, which is also a Sam Raimi movie. And he also played the announcer in the first film at the wrestling match that gave him the name Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Bruce Campbell was the narrator in the Spider-Man 2 video game.
Whoa. Good for him. That's really fun.
They're really getting their mileage out of him.
Bruce Campbell.
I don't think he does a whole lot of other things except Sam Raimi cameos.
Yeah, he's got like that Ash versus Evil show, which is also, just based on the Evil Dead. Yeah, good for him though, man. He's having a nice time. I'm having a nice time seeing him. Yep. Alright, cool. So he just goes outside and he goes across the street to sit on somebody's stoop and be sad. Like in the dark, and on the corner is a woman who starts playing the Spider-Man song. I don't know if this implies that she invented the is she inventing it in front of us right now? Is she debuting the track?
I would hope so.
Is it just her and like a little fiddle?
She wrote it.
Yeah.
In this universe, she wrote the Spider-Man song.
Spider-Man. That's very cute. Yep. And then we see inside the play, after MJ comes out on, she like sees that the seat is empty in the theater, no way. The stage lights are so bright, she would not see that somebody was not in that seat. Also, they would let somebody sit in that seat.
Yeah.
If you're late, they don't care.
Did she give him a ticket with a specific seat on it?
Right, like how would she know? No, you tell like your stage hand or whatever, you tell your stage manager, hey, I need a comp tonight. And then they handle it with the box office.
Yeah. Would she have known which seat?
No.
There was one empty seat in the house.
Right? It's like
only one.
The Importance of Being Earnest is not fucking Hamilton. No way that bitch was There's
this girl who's never done a Broadway play before.
Yeah. Is selling out. No. So yeah, it was dumb. It's really dumb. But at the end of the play, we see MJ exit through the stage door. And he gets up, little Peter gets up to be like, I'm gonna go do something, I guess. Well, I don't know what his plan is, just to be like, I missed your whole play, but like I'm here or something. But then we see a very handsome man meet her. Ooh. And Peter's eyes well up with tears.
Yeah. I watch MJ make out with that hottie.
And then cop cars blaze past again. Because I guess the only crime is happening in the theater district. I didn't see any cops when I was in the theater. I don't know. Maybe, 2004 was just...
crime-ridden New York City.
Insanity, yeah. But okay. And, so he's sad, but then some cop cars blaze past. And he walks away and gets into his Spidey gear to go do his responsibility. While he's flying around, his web slinger wrist stops slinging.
Oh, man.
When he falls on a building.
Just like Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh, no! God! It's so sad! It's so sad. What a fucking bummer.
Sorry, everybody.
So yeah, he can't swing anymore, and so he gets on the elevator. Which I don't know how he got to the elevator from the roof of the building. I don't know. And he has a fun back and forth about how the costume is uncomfortable. It rides up in the crotch and is a little itchy.
This is the point in the film where I realized I was accidentally watching the extended edition.
What?
I accidentally got the extended edition and watched that because there's a very long passage in this little elevator where he's talking to that guy, where the guy pitches all kinds of like ads. Like the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in advertising. I got all kinds of things for you. What about a cologne called Whip? Yeah."
Whip.
But this goes on for too long.
Oh no.
And there are several more moments in the movie where there's just like comedic tension breaks.
Dude, that sucks. This movie is already 2 hours.
I know.
Wild. Oh wow. Jeez. Well, I'm sorry. I watched it on Stars. That's the normal one. Gross. That's ass. It was not that great. The little bit they kept then.
No, it was a
There
while.
was even more.
Yeah.
That's the best part that they could leave in. Great. So watch out for the extended edition, everybody. Cool. Then he walks down a street. He's straight. It's just literally littered with pictures of Mary Jane. The whole street. And he's just dragging his broken bike by him. His broken little moped. And, the next day he leaves a very sad voicemail for her from a payphone on campus. But it cuts off, and then he just pretends to finish the voicemail because he, ran out of time because he didn't put enough money in. And then he just, keeps talking to the phone with nobody on it, telling her that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that his enemies would hurt her.
Yeah, he's got so many burdens that he's got to...
There are people around. There are people around.
Yeah, you think there's somebody just walking past in the background who's just like, "Oh, wait, what the fuck? That guy's Spider-Man."
Shit, that dude just told me he's Spider-Man. You think that's real? I know. Yep. Then we're at Otto's demonstration. Yay. He has on a gray tank top. It reminded me of your Groot from college. And he had a gray tank top. Sweatshirt jumpsuit thing.
The grab fit. Classic.
It was so bad. Mack worked out in this
that's what I wore.
gray on gray sweatsuit.
That's what's important. When you get down to serious business. Going to the gym, making a son.
He went in to make a son every day. Got ripped. Oh god. But so he gets in this contraption that attaches 4 mechanical arm tentacles to his spine. And they show the needles going into his spine, and it's very scary. I did not expect to watch that, and I don't know how I handled watching that when I was young. But yeah, they have these mechanical arms, tentacle things that are controlled by AI to do stuff for him, but he's got a little chip that protects his brain, his higher function, his brain.
Thanks for pointing that out, movie. Nothing can go wrong there.
In control. I was like, why do we need to know that? Why wouldn't they just do what he says? What? And with them, he successfully creates fusion. So we think. And he has the power of the sun in his hands. But of course, suddenly something goes wrong. Everything starts malfunctioning. But Otto won't turn it off. And quickly, everything is flying around the room and getting pulled into it. And Rosie dies.
That was a scene that messed me up as a kid. Watching the glass fly towards her.
Yeah, you just watch a pane of glass fly at her.
Yeah. Well, like 12-year-old me was like, oh.
Yeah, it's very horrifying. It's like, that's literally like in fucking, what is it? The Final Destination movies.
Yeah.
It was really scary. Yeah, she gets killed and Otto gets shocked blowing the stabilizer that kept it in control. And it blows the stabilizer, keeping him in control of the tentacles. And Spider-Man is able to save Harry. But he does not appreciate
What
it.
a piece of shit.
Yeah, literally Harry is saved by Spider-Man. He's like, this doesn't change anything. And it's like, it fucking should.
What's wrong with
He would let you die.
Yeah.
He did not like you. This was a perfect opportunity to let you die and nobody questioned it. Whatever. And yeah, he says he's humiliated by him touching him. It's like, you humiliated me.
You sullied me.
Ew. And then Spider-Man pulls the plug on the machine. Because it was just a plug.
That's like a bunch of plugs.
Oh, yeah, he had to pull them all. He didn't have the time to go one at a time. He had to pull them all, and he needed super strength to do that. In the hospital, doctors are about to remove the tentacles from Otto, but then they start attacking and murder them.
That is a crazy scene. That is absolutely insane.
Yes, it's super
such
terrifying.
a tonal shift from every other part of.
Oh my
that
god!
movie.
Yeah, there's like an electrical saw going.
Yeah.
There's like people getting chopped up.
It's very much like classic like horror movie set
Yes,
rating. Like there are like shots in that are lifted directly from Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Like the shot of like the snake running around the ground.
Yep.
And he grabs a girl.
Uh-huh.
That was in Evil Dead.
That was in Evil Dead. So yeah, just reusing some bits there. So now every doctor at this hospital's dead. And Otto wakes up and sees all these murdered people and just screams, "No!"
I also love that we're like halfway through the movie and this is the first time that we see like the villain.
Yeah,
There's been like no superhero drama up
nothing.
until now.
Yeah, all the drama
You don't
has
have to save the world. Yeah.
Peter's personal life.
Yeah.
Him being bad at living.
Yeah. Just Peter being a dope.
Yeah, just being a mess. That's great. At the Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson is talking shit about Otto. So bold. And about how excited he is for Otto to exist.
Yeah.
And they come up with the name Dr. Octopus. But at first, somebody says maybe Doctor Strange, but it's taken. Huh?
Classic.
Because Marvel, so he exists. Then Peter gets a job to photograph an event for J. Jonah at the planetarium the next day. And we're like, okay.
How many? It's J. Jonah Jameson's son, right?
We find out, yes, that J. Jonah Jameson's son has an event at the planetarium.
Yeah.
The next day, and they don't have a photographer for it.
There are like 5 people in New York.
Yeah.
How are all these people connected?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. But, of course. And then out by the water, Otto is back in his lab, where the tentacles convince him to rebuild the machine even bigger than before, and just to steal money to do it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, how am I going to get money? And then we watch a tentacle just, like, look at him. And he's like, steal it. That's bad. And it's like, yeah, but this is, like, an important thing, so I should just steal it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Up until now, I'm still on board with Team Otto.
Yeah, I'm still, Dr. Octopus.
Those tentacles killed those doctors in self-defense. They were
gonna saw them out. It's like, really was sawing them?
Yeah. These things that are connected to this man's spinal column.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
They're just gonna go in with a hat, with an electric saw.
Yeah, there was no way. There was a mess.
Team Tentacle.
Team Tentacle. Yikes. I don't think you want that audio clip of you out there. Alright, anyway, Aunt May and Peter are at the bank trying to save the house. And the banker they're talking to is played by Joel McHale.
Amazing.
Is this, in the extended version, does he do a 10-minute talk soup set?
I fucking wish that I would rather have an extended Joel McHale monologue.
Yeah,
where where he just talks shit about celebrities rather than this dumb man.
It's like, did you hear about this Spider-Man guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really good. That would have been great. It also...
like a Talk Soup style recap of a nuclear reactor exploding in New York.
Jesus. Yeah. It also happens to be the bank that Dr. Octopus is robbing, because there's
only one bank in
New
Manhattan.
York.
There are like 5 people in one bank.
Yep. For some reason, he's exclusively taking bags of change. It's like coins in the bags. His tentacles get all these bags and start throwing them, and when they explode, it's coins.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the most efficient money
Way
that
to
you're going to
grab it?
get?
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's like gold coins. It's not like quarters. So
Yeah.
where are you going to take that? Who's taking gold coins right now?
Yeah.
But sure, it's more fun, I guess. They blew all their budget on the tentacles, is what happened.
Yeah.
And they could only get pirate treasure plastic pieces from the Dollar Tree, and they had to work with what they had. Yeah, so he is throwing all this money. He throws it at Spider-Man as they fight, and his webs are still fucking up, but he is still able to get Dr. Octopus out of the building. Unfortunately, Dr. Octopus grabs Aunt May as a hostage, and he scales the building. Spider-Man kind of saves her, but she mainly just saves herself.
Yeah.
Aunt May is just like...
Aunt May's a real hero.
Yeah, it's just like, no, fuck off. Yeah. At the observatory now, Harry is there, getting wasted.
Yeah, aren't they like 19? What?
Yeah. They're 19 years old. Also, why is Harry there? Why did Harry get invited to this?
It's high society, and there are only 5 people in New York.
I guess so, yeah. So Harry's getting fucking hammered, and Peter's bopping around taking pictures for J. Jonah Jameson, and it's his son's event, who is a hella hot astronaut, and when he's introduced, we see his date is Mary Jane. Damn. Oh, damn. So Peter is sad instantly.
God, I wish you were a hot astronaut instead of an unemployed man living in like a tenement house.
Who also rejected her.
Who's failing out of college.
Yeah, like nothing going for him.
But she's really in love with Peter.
No, so
not the hot astronaut.
So ass. That's so ass.
He's an astronaut. What a ridiculous career.
Oh my god. So Peter finds Mary Jane outside the party, and he recites some poetry to her, but she is not having it.
Yeah.
And then tells him off, rightfully so, because he's being a shitty friend.
Yeah.
Like, not even, like, all the weird emotion stuff aside.
Nah, he's bad.
Baseline, not even a good friend at all.
Yeah.
She, like, lists off all the people who fucking come to see her play. His aunt has come to see it a couple times.
Well, Aunt May is a gem, so...
You're right. Even her abusive father was
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
God,
Even
Peter.
her abusive father has come to see this play. It's fucked. It's bad. So, yeah. There's some, then we look back inside the party, and there's some fire saxophone playing, just for a moment. It was a really important clip, and I liked it. And then drunk Harry yells at Peter, first, about taking Mary Jane, which, okay, fine. That is something I understand you being upset about, is your girlfriend, or they broke up, but then, your best friend immediately... You find out she's in love with him. That sucks. And Peter hasn't talked about it with him at all. That
Peter
sucks.
hasn't talked to anyone about anything.
Nothing at all. And he also yells at him for standing up for Spider-Man, which is weird. And then he slaps him in the face. A full, open-handed slap.
Yeah.
Making a scene. And then he walks away. And then, all of a sudden, the astronaut announces that Mary Jane has just agreed to marry him.
Yes! I love this moment.
What is
Because
this
earlier in the
timeline?
movie, she was talking to Peter, and he was like, is it serious with the guy? And she's like,
I don't know. I'm just, like, seeing that. I was, like, seeing somebody. What?
He's an astronaut. We're engaged.
We're now engaged.
Ugh.
Yep.
Incredible.
Then... Peter, as Spider-Man, is swinging around and is sad, and his web stopped working again. And he can't scale a wall, and he sees a headline that says Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus work together to steal from the bank.
Ooh.
And he's just like, what is this? What is my life? I am sad. Then we see Dr. Octopus with a bunch of crates rebuilding his machine. And Peter is at the doctor.
Regular doctor.
Just a regular doctor, not Dr.
Not a
Octopus.
Dr. Octopus.
Regular doctor, because there's one doctor still alive in New York, who tells him his problems are because of his head issues. And that he has a choice. He doesn't, have to be stressed. It's very weird and uncomfortable. Then we hear Uncle Ben, and we see him telling him to have courage and be honest. With great power comes great responsibility. No. But then Peter just tells him that he's Peter Parker, not Spider-Man anymore, and he goes and throws away his costume.
Oh.
Jeez. But then Peter's happy. And it's very confusing for me as a viewer, because Peter's happy.
Yeah, being Spider-Man's stressful.
Yeah, being Spider-Man's ass.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But instead of just, processing his issues of his life being bad as Spider-Man, being well, how do I figure out how to make this not?
Yeah, there are choices that he could make.
By just, talking, I could just walk up to the police station and explain what... Maybe we could figure out a way to work together, or...
sometimes I'm Spider-Man, I can be on call sometimes, I don't have to, 100% of my life.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be Spider-Man.
Batman had a symbol.
Yeah.
They threw up.
It's when you need me.
Yeah. There are other superheroes also. This is a world where superheroes exist. And there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, okay.
But there is, there's, that shot when he's, not being Spider-Man anymore. There's, a newspaper, and it's, crime goes up 70%.
Yeah!
Spider-Man is responsible
literally handling
for
70%
all
of crime.
the crime in this city.
It can't, that's just,
crazy.
Physically also impossible. The time, it's yeah, it's insane. But, yeah, but as he's, happily being himself, he, has to, all of his powers, go away. He has to, start wearing glasses again. He tries to fix his bike, but he fucks it up. Oh, man. And, yeah, he just gets a hot dog instead of helping the cops that are, actively, in a shootout next to him.
He watches a man get beat up on the side of the street.
Yeah, he just watches that happen. And he starts studying, and he does well in class. And he even goes to MJ's play, which makes her happy. But after the play, she's upset with him because he wants to be with her.
Oh my god. He's still a piece of shit.
He is still a piece of shit. Yeah.
That's his main problem.
The next thing I read is he's a real ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just self-centered.
His problem is not that he's Spider-Man. His problem is that he is an asshole.
Yeah, that he's just a self-absorbed asshole.
Yeah.
He is a white savior.
He thinks he has to save everybody
around him.
Yes,
it's awful. He just sucks. Cool. Great. At the Bugle, a garbage man brings in Spider-Man's suit to J. Jonah Jameson, who is very hype about getting him to give up. But the other people at the Bugle are all sad.
In the extended edition, this is one thing. No, this one is incredible. This is the one thing that it added to the movie that was worth watching. There is a shot of J.K. Simmons wearing the Spider-Man costume, dancing around in his office pretending to be Spider-Man.
Oh, that's...
Just jumping up on his tail and being pew, pew, pew.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's... They should have kept that.
I hope it's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
Please look it up.
I'm going to look it up.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh. Well, good. That's really useful, and I'm glad we know that now. But also, it's how do they know that's the one? That's the Spider-Man costume.
People have got to have Spider-Man costumes.
I know, right? Yeah, if there's a lady just on the street writing a song about him, then you know costumes exist.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, everybody's sad at the Bugle except for J. Jonah. And Peter sees someone getting beat up and just walks away, while that woman from before plays a sad version of the Spider-Man song.
Oh, damn.
Then he and Aunt May visit Ben's grave, and she blames herself for his death It's really sad. And then Peter finally tells her that he's responsible and says the whole story of how the thief that killed Ben, he let him go. And Aunt May gets up and just leaves him sitting alone. Doesn't say anything, he just leaves. This fuck, dude.
Yeah,
it really, things get dark quick. Yeah. Dr. Octopus has almost completed his machine and says he has one little chore. I love that it's okay for him to narrate things because he's talking to the tentacles. Yeah. Even though the tentacles communicate with him through his brain so he doesn't need to talk out loud, I still appreciate that he does so that I can hear.
Yeah. It's for the viewer. He was like, if there's anybody eavesdropping on me right now,
I want them to be able to know what's going on. He even translates for the tentacles out loud. It's good. So we see him, we see Harry is angry over Spider-Man pictures. He's just out on his
He has Spider-Man pictures. His nightly routine.
He's got all these photos of
He looks
Spider-Man.
at pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's really weird. And he goes out on his balcony and Dr. Octopus shows up to get tritium from him. And Harry makes a deal to give him all the tritium he wants if he brings him Spider-Man and tells him he can find him through Peter, but not to hurt him. It's like, damn, dude. Yeah. You just threw your friend to a man who literally
maniac who
mass
murdered
a bunch of doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry's... Oh my god, it's really fucked up. Peter sees a burning building, and he runs in to save a little girl. So this is the thing. He has watched people being beat up on the street, the police and people shooting each other, but a building on fire.
In his defense, this is like the cutest child in the world.
Okay, it is an extremely cute child, but he can't see the child. He sees the
powers.
parents.
Oh no, he doesn't have them right now.
No, he doesn't have any powers. He has no powers right now.
He sees the parents.
He sees the parents and he's like, that probably is a really
It's an adorable child.
Yeah, they got good faces, so it's probably really... And so he runs in to save the little girl, and he saves her, gets her out, but then he finds out someone still died while in the burning building, and so then he's sad. And back in his apartment, his landlord's daughter comes by to see if he wants some cake and milk.
Aww.
It's really sweet. She also delivers him a message from his aunt. And he goes to her house and finds her moving all her stuff out of the house. And she tells him that she's proud of him for telling her the truth and that she loves him. It's wild. Aunt May.
The voice of reason.
Yeah, the women in the film are all way too great, and it doesn't make any sense why any of them associate with him at all. Or any man that's in this whole thing. Yeah. Except for the astronaut.
Yeah.
He seems nice.
He is such a non-character. We know nothing about him except that he is hot in an astronaut.
Yeah, he's hot in an astronaut. He's nice.
He goes to see Mary Jane's play.
Yeah.
More than once, probably.
Uh-huh. Damn. Then Aunt May also gives a speech about how everyone needs a hero and that there's a hero in all of us. It's very pointed. It feels like she knows that he's Spider-Man.
It does.
And I don't know. I guess, yeah. He was living in her house for a long time. At some point, she probably was washing the dishes, and Spider-Man kept
swung
in and
out.
Yeah, and she was like, "Well, either he's fucking Spider-Man, or he is just fucking Spider-Man." It's one. Yeah. Next, Peter is on the roof of a building, and he just starts running. And there are a bunch of pigeons flying, and incredible. He jumps, and he yells that he's back, but then he falls, and he hurts his back, because he's not back. His powers did not come back, just because he wanted them to.
It's worth a shot.
Because he hasn't done
I would have tried that out in a less high-risk scenario.
Yeah, I don't know why he thought that he had to go on top of a building.
He's 19.
Yeah. MJ and her mans are putting together wedding invitations, and she says she isn't inviting Peter because he's a jerk.
Okay.
Even her fiance.
He's gonna make a stink at the wedding. He's trying to break them up actively. You should not invite him to the wedding.
But then she upside down kisses her fiance. And then looks sad
Not
into the
same.
distance.
It's not Spider-Man.
What the fuck? Also,
is she conflicted? Does she know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, or is she like now in a love triangle? She like can't decide between 3 men.
Yeah, I don't understand. I thought it was maybe she thought he might be Spider-Man.
That's why she.
And so she was like, maybe I'll try this, and maybe it's him, and it'll make me feel better. But no. I don't know. She then meets up with Peter at a cafe, and she asks if he loves her or not. And he says he doesn't. But she asks him to kiss her because she needs to know something. So, it seems like she was testing out the kiss. Yeah, the kiss. She's like, if it's not my fiance, it has to be Peter because there are only 5
Yeah, there are 5 men in this city.
And I have kissed all of them but these 2.
But it's not that I'm going to have to make out with my fiance's dad.
Yeah.
The only other person left in New York.
Him. Which it is. It's him.
Yeah,
He puts on the costume.
Jameson.
Oh, God. Yeah. But she goes to kiss him, and then a car flies through the window at them.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's the most dramatic.
It is.
Option. It's like, just go talk to Peter Parker about where Spider-Man is. He's like, I got it. I'm throwing a car through the window of this
Kill them both.
But of course he saves her, and Dr. Octopus shows up and says he has to know where Spider-Man is. Tells him that Spider-Man needs to meet him at 3 p.m. and throws him real hard, and then takes Mary Jane. And it's like, huh? Why did you take Mary Jane? Unless I guess Dr. Octopus is actually smart and is like, that is Spider-Man.
It's obvious.
Yeah, Peter,
what is going on?
Peter was, there was nobody else at that demonstration. Then all of a sudden Spider-Man was there and Peter wasn't there anymore. And he figured it out. Or his tentacles did, at least.
Yeah, his Team Tentacles.
In the Bugle office, J. Jonah Jameson admits he was wrong for turning the city against Spider-Man because he could have saved his son's fiance. But the spider suit gets stolen back, and he's back on his angry shit immediately. It's like,
amazing.
Fuck that guy, he's stealing my shit. Spider-Man then meets up with Dr. Octopus, and they fight on a clock tower. Sure. And then on top of a train.
Amazing.
Double sure. And then inside the train, and then back on top of the train. And Dr. Octopus cuts the brakes, which I did not know was a thing you could do with a train, that you can
if you break off the handle, the train can never stop.
Yes. I do not understand trains.
Yeah.
And yep.
Also, is this train like already on a track that was gonna like fly off into like the Hudson?
Right, exactly. It was on a track that just ended at the water for some reason.
Sure.
Yeah.
They were gonna stop it, but then he broke off that little lever.
Yeah, and then it's over. And so he tries to stop the train with just his legs, and that does not work. And then he throws a bunch of webs. And it does slow down and then stops just in time. But his mask has been like ripped off his face. And he passes out from being so strained. And the people on the train crowd surf him.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Back onto the train!
It's a touching moment.
And they put him safely on the ground. And he wakes up and he realizes that they can see his face. And, like, one person is like, oh, it's just a kid. And I'm like, no, it's a 30-year-old man.
Pretending to be a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
It's an adult Tobey Maguire playing a teenager.
But then a couple kids on the train give him back his mask and promise not to tell who he is. It's very sweet.
It is. It's a very cute moment.
And it's nice. But then, of course, Dr. Octopus shows back up immediately. Because, they didn't do anything to stop him. He's still there. And the people try to stand in the...
Oh, yeah, like the tough New Yorker moment. You gotta go through me.
Yeah, and then... it's really nice. And then Dr. Octopus is just like, okay. And he just pushes them all out of the way.
Incredible. Good.
Yep. And he brings Spider-Man to Harry, who has him put him on the same fainting couch that his dead dad's body was on. He didn't get rid of the couch.
Why would he? He needs to keep things that make him angry about Spider-Man.
It's so wild. So yeah, he gets put on his dead dad's couch.
He has like a little knife too.
Yeah, he's got his little knife. Got a little knife. He's gonna take care of
like
business.
a paper letter opener.
It is, yeah. Little dagger. And Dr. Octopus goes and gets the tritium out of just the safe. Just out of the safe.
This
Harry
like
just
19-year-old just keeps like weapons grade like radioactive substances
It's in the safe
in his apartment.
Yep.
Twice crazy.
Oh, dude,
radiation
that's right.
poisoning.
He probably legitimately, it's just crazy because of
that safe's not lead lined, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yep. And Harry goes with his little knife to take off Spider-Man's mask, revealing that it's Peter, who gets up very easily.
I love that moment. I love that moment. And then when he's in the cafe after he's like under all the rubble and he's just like, "Bwah!"
Yeah,
and he just like pops out and all the rubble like flies
it's
away.
like, why didn't you do that immediately? As soon as Dr. Octopus
was tired.
Yeah.
He had to take a nap after the train ordeal.
So
to get his strength back.
I had to give it a second. Yeah, let him see my face and then I'll just get up. But I guess he wanted him to see. He was like, I should just reveal myself. And, yeah. And he finds out that Dr. Octopus got the tritium and is rebuilding his machine. And is like, you gotta tell me where the fuck he is, Harry. He's gonna blow up the city and the world. And Harry's like, I'm still upset, but okay. So stupid. Spider-Man then shows up at Dr. Octopus's warehouse by the sea to save Mary Jane, but she screams a lot. And that actually saves him a little bit because Dr. Octopus is like distracted and he by it, so giving Spider-Man enough time to electrocute him. And he pulls the plug, but it doesn't shut down the machine this time.
Oh, man.
Peter then reveals himself to Octavius, because he's Octavius now that he is able to see who Peter is, and is able to talk him into shutting down the machine with his own words. Like, just being himself. It got into Octavius's mind.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, right, I am a human person.
Yeah.
And don't have to be bad. I don't understand why the tentacles would just be bad. They have no reason, it seems, to be
I don't think
evil.
that they were bad. I think, like, they're just, like, they only want to create the machine. Like,
yeah, so they're going to do absolutely anything to just make the machine.
Yeah.
All
I don't think they, like hurting people. Maybe they do. They've hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, it seems like they
enjoy
excessively have hurt people. They threw a car into a cafe. That wasn't the easiest way to... But, yeah. So, he gets the tentacles to listen to him somehow. And he
said, listen to me now. That's how he did it.
He literally said, listen to me.
That was all he had to do.
And he takes the device into the river to drown it and stop it, killing himself in the process for some reason. I don't know why he had to die.
I don't know. He could have dragged it down and just
he could have he could have just been like, hey, go down, but he could just pull the beam out from under the building.
Yeah. Or like swim back.
Or just come back up right away. Nope, he had to die though. He had to die.
Yeah.
Yep. And he dies, and then Mary Jane also sees that Peter is Spider-Man. And he saves her from being crushed by a wall in a very similar way that glass was coming for Rosie.
Oh, yeah.
A wall comes for Mary Jane.
Yeah.
But Peter saves
her.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Octopus didn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. And then they swing away somehow. I didn't understand. But
they're in like the ocean.
Yeah, there's nothing for them to
grab
swing onto. Exactly.
I also thought about that.
Like, how did he go? Where did they go? What's... There's just water everywhere.
Isn't the next scene he makes like a giant web?
Yeah, he just makes a little web that they're laying on together. Yep, he casts this big web for them to lay on. And he says they can never be together because of the risk. And he lowers her down to the ground as her fiancé arrives. How did they know where she was? But okay.
Because there was a fucking nuclear explosion happening
so they were like,
New York.
She's probably over there, I guess.
Probably, yeah, that's it.
Sure. And Yeah, her fiance arrives and they have a big hug and she's sad and then Spider-Man swings away. Then we see Harry sitting in his McMansion with his little knife and we hear the Green Goblin laughing and we see the ghost of his dad in the mirror, which I don't understand.
Is the ghost real?
Exactly. I was like, wait, so he wasn't just talking to himself in the mirror. There's actually a fucking
Because why would Harry know
person?
that this is the mirror that goes to the secret room?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. These are the questions. Yeah, these are the questions. So yeah, then he sees his dad in the mirror and he tells him he's alive in Harry and that he has to make him pay. Meaning Spider-Man, we assume. Yeah. And he screams, "Avenge me!" And Harry says no. And throws the knife through the mirror where we find the Green Goblin's lair with all his bad guy stuff. So it's like, but that like leads me to believe that he's not going to be bad because he's all like, no, I don't want to avenge, whatever. But then finding all the weapons, he's like, oh, okay, maybe I can do this because I won't have to try very hard. I just throw a bunch of bombs at him. Yeah. It's like, yikes.
Yeah, his thought process was not, oh, look at this, my dad was a homicidal maniac.
Yeah.
My dad was like a terrorist.
Yeah.
Maybe he was the bad guy.
Then we're at church. MJ is in her wedding dress. The wedding march plays. Everyone is waiting. A random woman runs in and brings the groom a note. And J. Jonah Jameson says to his wife, call the caterer and tell her not to open the caviar. Before we find out that MJ has run away. Yeah, J. Jonah immediately.
He's on top of shit.
He's like, tell them not to open the caviar.
He's on the pulse of the city. He knows what's going on.
Yeah. Then we see MJ running happy through the park, and she shows up to Peter's apartment, his disgusting apartment. How does she know where he lives?
I have no idea.
Why would she have ever been there? They're not they haven't been friends this whole time.
They haven't spoken.
Yeah.
In this whole movie.
But she says she can't survive without him, and that he needs to respect her enough to make her own decisions, which is fair.
That's honest, yeah.
Yeah. And isn't it about time that somebody saved your life? Which is, I didn't like that. And he says, thank you, and then they make out. Then there are sirens, and she cheers him on as he swings out of the window. And then Dashboard Confessional plays.
Yes! That was the moment where the credits came around. I was like, oh yes, this movie was made in 2004.
Yes! The last one, the credits song, was by Nickelback. So.
Oh! I didn't stay that long through the credits, but I did stay for the Dashboard Confessional song.
Yeah. And that is Spider-Man 2.
What a film.
It is something else. Rotten Tomatoes, 93%. That is very high.
Yeah. And
Letterboxd is a 3.7, which is higher than the original out of 5. Out of 5 stars. 3.7 out of 5, which is higher than Spider-Man, the original one or whatever. So the second one has higher ratings. I did find out doing research for this. I did find out that the tentacles on Dr. Octavius are practical effects.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
I know. I thought they were CGI.
Yeah.
They're not.
Wow.
They're practical effects.
I do remember thinking that in this movie while I was watching. I was like, wow, the CGI in this movie has aged incredibly.
Yes, I was like, these are wow.
That's
no,
why.
It's because they're real. The gears he's wearing, the gear he wore was 75 pounds on him. And each arm was operated by 4 people. And they were each 13 feet long when fully expanded.
That's insane.
Yes, right? Oh my god, it blew my mind. For real! I was like, oh my god. Yeah, the puppeteers on this were, I don't know, they probably work for Cirque du Soleil now or something like that. Like, it's bonkers. So yeah, do you relate to Spider-Man 2?
Do I relate to Spider-Man 2? I feel like a little bit in a different way than when I saw it as a child. Like when I first went to go see Spider-Man, like I said, I was like a little kid and I empathized a lot with Spider-Man himself because I was a nerdy kid who didn't have a whole lot of friends. So I was like, oh, Spider-Man's just like me.
Oh.
He can be a superhero. Now, as like an adult, I still empathize with Spider-Man, but like to a lesser extent, because he's kind of like creating a lot of his own problems. I empathize. The people I empathize with are like Aunt May.
Yes.
And like, because she can't fucking like pay her mortgage.
Yeah, right?
So like, I empathize and identify a lot more with like a lot of the other problems that are happening around
the real life
Spider-Man
problems.
more than Spider-Man himself these days.
Yeah.
But I did when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the nerdy kid who didn't know what he was doing.
Word.
And I was like, oh, that's me.
That makes sense. I think it's pretty similar for me too. Yeah. And I think now I identify with like the receptionist at the hotel is who I identify as some fuckery happening around me, some white man coming up to me going, "It's pizza time." Pizza time. Yeah. I think that's the person I identify with most in the entire film. What a mess. No diversity. The pizza man and the guy on Chappelle's show.
Yeah, there's like the classic like early 2000s background diversity.
Yeah, so the saxophone player.
Supporting characters and background characters.
Yes.
Are minorities.
Uh-huh.
But none of the main cast.
Yeah, it's New York City.
Yeah.
And all the five dudes are white.
all the five main characters are white guys. Yes.
It's
everybody who's trapped in a fire is a minority.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were minorities. Oh yeah, what a delight. Sweet. All right. Well, thank you for joining me back.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone listening. I have been your friendly neighborhood fat friend, Allie. Check out Mack's magazine. It'll be in the description.
It's a good time. It's weird.
It is weird.
If you like weird stuff, it's for you.
Yeah, I read the first story so far. It's long. It's longer than I thought, so I have not made much headway.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it content-wise for $1.
Yeah, you get a lot for your dollar.
You get a lot for your dollar. So definitely check it out. And I would leave a perfectly nice, handsome, rich astronaut at the altar for you any day, everyone. That's how much I love you. Okay.
That's a lot. That's a big thing to give up.
It is.
The hot astronaut.
And I am willing to, for some reason. Yikes. Okay. I'll talk at you next time. Bye.